questions on section 10.5, right? As far as questions go, right? No, questions should be on 10.5. That's what we did last time, right? Hadley. Shh. Number 9? It's coming. It's just a little behind. So it is 5.5, right? Cinco de Mayo. So what was your question? What number, Hadley? Number 9. Okay, listen up. Now remember that if it's out here, it is what? What did I have to do here? Yeah, so it is major arc minus minor arc divided by 2, right? Now the problem is that I don't know either of my arcs, do I? But let's say SU then is X. So I don't know it, right? Well, what is this part of it going to be? 360 minus X, isn't it? So I'm going to have 360 minus X because I subtract, divided by 2 has got to equal 60. Times both sides by 2. I'm going to get 360 minus 2x equals 120. Right? Minus 360 minus 360. Negative 2x equals negative 240. Right? Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. X is 120.
I did it a different times too. Yeah, so that's what I thought. And I still got 120, but that's not.
Does that only work with this problem? Yeah.
Yeah, that just, you got lucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
I'll have to fix that.
Yeah, because what if I would have asked for this one? And you double it, you're wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened to work out. Yo.
Can we do number
10? Same problem. Just make MKX 240 minus X divided by 2 equals question mark and solve it.
Can't you do like 360 minus 240?
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah. Yep. Do that.
Okay, so I did 10 right.
Yeah, you did?
That it? Just the one question? I guess technically 2.
When you do the major arc minus the minor arc, what is that minus for you?
Just the major arc's the big one,
Yeah.
minus the minor's the small one, then just divide it by 2. Anytime it's 2 tangents. I wonder. Yeah, I would do it like that every time. It's the only way to guarantee it's right every time. So there are some shortcuts you can take, but I don't know that they work every time. Okay. That's it? Just those 2?
Yeah, please.
Try that. And let me know if you can't get it. I'll answer it later. Okay? That's it? All right. Okay, so 10.6. I believe you'll also notice that this is what?
The last assignment.
The last assignment in this unit.
I know.
Yeah, we actually took it quite a while ago. I was actually noticing that.
Do you go through and grade everyone's test corrections?
Yep.
Man, that's a lot of work.
Which is why when someone gets a 47 out of 53 and wants to do test corrections, I give them the evil eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you gotta get that.
There were like 3 of them in this class.
I got a 26. So. I got a 30.
I got 24, so.
I think I have every one.
Yeah.
You got some of the worst in my class.
Good job, Preston.
No offense. I'll go for that team from
Just make sure that all those watching at home know that I did not tell anyone anyone's test score. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to find volumes. Now, with that, there are some formulas you need to know. Now,
Preston says you as well.
I'm pretty sure. Somebody pull their Chromebook out.
Yeah. You,
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So, is it there?
Yeah.
Did you look? Okay. So, on your computer is a chart. Is a list of all the formulas you will need to know. Okay. As far as the test goes, I don't know. I'll probably just project them on the board so that we have them, so you don't have to try to memorize them all. Or I don't know. Should we memorize them all?
There's enough stress in school already.
I'll think about that. And being how, yeah, my name's on the wall, I'll decide. What if what? That probably wouldn't be a very good idea, Christian. I'm just throwing that out there.
The next day,
Yeah.
it says Christian. Yes, it's Mrs. Blanche on the wall.
I've told you that story, right?
What story?
About my name?
Yes? So someone made it for you? Or?
No. So, I had a class, and that was kind of my standard, you know, whose name's on the wall, I'll decide, right? And so one day, I'd gotten called to the office right in the middle of class, right? And I come back, and yeah, some kid challenges me.
some like Wakanda stuff.
And I'm like, oh, that's right. And just as I started to say whose name is on the wall, he said, oh, that's right, Mr. Denton. Whose name's on the wall? And he points. And that little shit had taken a couple of pieces of paper and written his name down and taped it over my name.
That's so funny.
Did he get an F?
Very few times have I been that impressed with a student I could not get mad at them.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's good. You played that.
touche, that was well played. Now you get an F. I wasn't mad, but I still gave him an F. I mean, there's got to be there's consequences to every action, right? Just because you get to choose the action, you don't get to choose the consequence, right? Like I'm doing 90, I'm no longer choosing whether or not I get a ticket. Just ask my dumbass 19-year-old. Okay? Alrighty, now. 19. 19. I don't know many 90s that are going 90. I mean, maybe. Your grandma's got a lead foot there, Christian. Okay. Alrighty, now. I'm going to be honest. Most of these are pretty easy. They really are. As long as I can do 2 things. I can choose the right formula, and I can do the math correctly. So, for example, what if what?
You can't do those things.
Then you're screwed. Okay?
Nice.
Alrighty, so what we're going to do, I really need someone to come and clean my room.
I'll clean it for you.
For
$20.
Yeah,
extra credit.
I give it automatic. $10. $20
Give me 100% on your 9 cents.
Give me the TV.
Yeah, I kind of get excited. How organized.
You have the broken TV. It ain't even mine.
Wait, I can really have the broken TV.
We're taking it out of the class.
Not mine.
We're taking it out of the classroom.
Alrighty, so. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to practice a few of these, and then we'll have some time in class to work. So what they're going to do is they're going to draw, most of these they've done a pretty good job of drawing them up, but this is what we're going to do. So
Do you have enough of those to share?
you don't need to do all of these. They're typed for you.
I thought it was a bad.
That's
I've never seen something purple.
Wow.
Hold on.
That's why your name's on the wall.
I definitely want to put my name on.
Alrighty, now they're going to give you something like this, and they are going to ask you to find its volume. Now, again, on your computer is a formula sheet that gives you the way to find the volume, right? Now, because this is a cylinder, what you're really going to do is you're going to find the area of the what? Circle, and simply multiply it by the height. Well, if I know that, what you really do, any volume for, okay, and what you got to understand is that everything's a little bit different. They're all similar. But for this one, I'm going to find the area of the base, and then I'm going to times it by the height. And that works for what they call a prism, where my side is perpendicular to my base. I simply find the area of that base, times it by the height. Well, we know how to find the area of a circle already, right? So I should be able to say, well, volume is, for a cylinder, pi r squared h. The pi r squared is the area of the base. I simply times it by the height. Now, this one gives you, just laid out. What could they do here, though, to make this problem, next level hard? Actually, I gave you the radius. That's what that 6 is. Oh, didn't. Well, what would they have to give you if they don't give you the radius? They could give you diameter. What if I want to make it even more complicated? Yeah, give me the circumference. Which then I would have to find the radius and then do the problem. So literally, once I have this, the rest of that should be that word. Plug and chug, right? Plug the numbers in, chug through the math. You should do it. I want 15 hands.
Is it possible for the volume of a lamp
Shh.
and then it goes like this? Because it's two different size circles.
You mean a cone?
That would be like a cone with
But it
a
does go to a tip.
Say that again.
You know how a lampshade has a little circle?
Yes.
Like this?
Yes, there is.
It's still a cone.
I will teach you. I will teach you that, but I don't think that's part of this. But yeah, there is.
A cone with a cone in the top.
Subtract off. Do the whole cone and then subtract off the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. I need 2 more. 14. 1 more. 15. Alrighty. Because most of you, I'm guessing, didn't know your numbers because I counted so fast. Anybody want to go for this?
Yo, I'll go for it.
What do you got?
1,357.16.
1357.16. Okay, meters cubed, right? I would have just went point what? 2? So we eliminate that, but whatever. Do the math. So what we got is we got pi button, right? Then I got 6 squared, and then I got 12. I punch that in just like that. It should spit that number out. Yes.
So unlike the cylinders, pyramids, cones, is it all going to be units cubed?
Yes, great question. Most of them, I think, because I think I actually made this assignment. I think I tried to find ones that had units so you got in the habit of putting units, because that's really important. Now, had this conversation happened at any other time in the year, or any other time or any other year, this is how this conversation would have went, Hadley. And that is, next year, when you're all in my chemistry class, this is vital. Because in chemistry, units are crucial. You can't have an answer without some kind of unit, because that changes things. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I'm prepping you for me next year. But Becca kind of ruined that, made me cry a lot, but that's okay. Yo.
When I do mine, it comes out as 432 pi. What do I do to my calculator?
So you've got it set to be exact. What? Let me see it. Just turn your calculator. Oh, is that a Casio?
It's a Texas Instrument.
Oh, I can figure it out.
Just go to math.
Yeah, it's got to be. You know how to do it? Yeah, it's in the math button. You've got it set to put it in pies. For yours, I would probably just go 3.14 is probably going to be easier. Just know you're probably going to be off just a hair when we're done, but it'll be close enough. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. What?
What about on the test?
Well, that's what I said. I mean, I'll have to look at that. But, you know, if I was you and I wasn't sure, I would probably borrow one. Here's another thing, not belaboring the point, but like anytime I run into a calculator, I buy them because I just bring them to my classroom, right? It's like I bought one of those TI-83 at the yard sale one day for $0.25. $0.25. Sold it for like $57. No, that one. That one right there.
That one for 57. You got it for a quarter?
Yeah.
25 cents. You should have resold
Put it on eBay.
on StockX.
Yeah. It's funny because I offered the guy 50 cents. But nah, a quarter's enough. I'm like, you clearly have no idea how much that calculator cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like,
You mean the TI?
I figured
What?
it out.
you figured it out?
Yeah.
Perfect. What'd you do?
I clicked mode and then.
Oh, okay. It's in the mode. Okay. Alrighty. Now, let's go back to, like, let's take into account something similar to what Charlie just asked. And let's look at this. Now, what does it mean if it's dotted? Yeah, it's in the background, right? Now, again, this is a prism, right? Because my side is perpendicular to the base, right? Now, anytime you see what this is called, this is actually specifically a triangular prism, right? Now, how is this really the same as that? Yeah, it's still going to be the area of the base times the height, right? Now, what's challenging though about this? Yeah, because now my base is a triangle and that's a little different what? Equation, right? So volume here is what? So it's 1/2 base times height. But remember, that's the base and the height of just the triangle. And then I'm going to times that by the height of the prism, right? So that's why I kind of treat these as two different problems, right? So let's come out here and say that this is, 17 meters, right? And I'm going to come in here and draw, because this is going to be important. I'm going to draw that, and I'm going to say that that is, 5 meters, and this is 9 meters. Okay. Now, where are the 5 and the 9 going to be used? Yeah, that's this part, right? Because that's finding the area of just the triangle. And anytime you have one of these, the triangles, no matter how they've drawn, the triangle has to be your base. And then the height will be this other measurement, okay? So if I look at this just like I did, I'm simply going to go 1/2. My base in this would be the base of my triangle, which is 9, times the height of my triangle, which is 5, then times the height of my prism, which is 17. Do that math and you get 382.5. Close. Meters cubed, because I'm talking volume.
So this whole time is probably cubed.
Oh, that's not true.
Unless it's not.
Yeah, I would say probably they're all going to be cubed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo.
Well, it's probably a stupid question, but I was thinking, what if I did like 9 times 17 and got that sign, and then times it by the opposite height?
Okay, so yeah, it ends up being the same thing, but the problem is like this. Okay, like look at this diagram right here, right? If I treat this as my base, that rectangular side of that's really no longer a prism because this side is sloped. But if I stand it up on end where my triangle is my base, then it's kind of uniform to all those other formulas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I always want to have what's uniform as my top and my bottom. Then I can go the area of that base times that by that height, and it will always work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, you could get there, and there are times you will still be correct, but it's not technically the right way to do that. Okay? Good question. Alrighty, now, the hardest thing for people to remember is this. And that is, and now I'm really mad because I'm really terrible at drawing these shapes. I have a little green stencil. Anybody seen it? Know what I'm talking about?
Paper?
What? No, that's one I just used. This one has like all the shapes on it, triangles. All this. No, I don't think so. But it has like all the shapes. No, these are all the same. Dang it. Oh well. So here you go. This is gonna suck. But let's say I have this. Okay, so let's say I've got that, and understand that this, I know this sucks, but you'll get over it. I know. Did I say I was going to miss teach? Oh, no, never mind.
Not Charlie.
I didn't mention any names. Alrighty, so now this, does anybody know what this would be called? Yeah, it's called a pentagonal prism. Okay, now, it's still the same idea. I'm going to take the area of my base, right? Then I'm going to times that by its height, right? Now, how do I find the area of a shape like that? Does anybody know? And this works for any regular polygon. Does anybody know what the term regular polygon means? Yep, all sides the same. Anybody know how to find the area of a regular polygon?
So the base would be another 1/2. You need a bottom. Yeah, the bottom and perimeter.
Do you have the...
Yeah, I wrote down all the formulas. Me too. He copied me.
Hey, you're a little caught.
That's a smart idea. I was going to ask if anybody had them, because I can't find my paper either. Now, Remember, this is just the area of the base. Now, apothem.
What is that? A possum. It's one of those rat things.
No, so it's a TH, not an SS.
It's a possum with a lisp.
That was actually a little funny. And I was going to use that in like 5 minutes, so you suck. Okay, now, the apothem, and this is important, it goes from the center to the side, creating a right angle. Okay? It's like a what? It's kind of like a radius in that sense. Okay? So if I say that the apothem is 7 feet, right? And I tell you that this side is 12 feet, and I tell you that it is 9 feet tall. Okay? And I want its volume. I'm still going to find the area of the base, and I'm going to times it by the height. Well, to find the area of the base, I'm going to do this. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, everyone screws this up the first time, and I don't know why that is. 1/2, well, that's 1/2. My apothem, I've told you, is 7. And for some reason, what is everyone right there? 12.
What are they doing?
Wrong. 9.
I would have put that. I'm gonna be honest.
Perimeter. Cheater.
It's 60.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh, that's five. That's five, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well done.
You're welcome. Now, did we all get the applause right here? How did we get this? Each side is 12. There's 5 sides. 12 times 5 is 60. Now I'm going to times it by my height, which is 9 feet. Now I've got all my information. I punch that into my calculator and I get
1,890.
1,890 feet cubed. Just like that. We struggling over there?
I'm gonna stupid joke.
Were you struggling, David?
David's being mean because he laughed at my joke. Like, sarcastic. That was sarcastic.
Well, but when you tell a joke, you want people to laugh, usually,
Yeah, but, like, it
don't you?
wasn't a laugh.
But not sarcastic laugh. Like one of those, ha.
It was a wheeze. It was like.
Oh. Well, I could use a good joke. Why don't you?
It was a stupid joke, though. I do agree.
So, something a teenage boy would tell.
I guess.
Tell us. Teenage boy didn't say it.
Apparently, everyone wants to hear.
It was stupid. He said 1890, and I said not the year you were born. He
Oh.
was making the whole joke.
Wow, that was good.
Wow.
Oh, so ha.
You made an old joke on me, Flinders?
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Boston.
Oh, I thought he was talking about you too.
I wouldn't talk to you like
Now I
that.
get how David's laughing.
That was a good save. That was a real good save, Flinders.
There you go. I actually was. David's got a little.
Okay.
My face feels good.
Alrighty, now, really only one more thing. So let's say I said this. Actually, let's see how smart we are. How many of you think you're smarter than average? Raise your hands. Only 2 of you? Well, shh, everybody be quiet. What did you just say?
I said, of course Ian thinks he's smart.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, of course we're all smart, which, let's face it, well, no. Would you be in this class if you were not?
Yeah.
You would
I
be?
mean, you're just you.
What?
I mean, you're because you're the best teacher. Not
No, I'm saying this is an honors math class.
yeah.
I mean, how many of your classmates of 700 are in honors math? Maybe 150? So clearly, what?
It's a lot.
It is a lot?
So if we fail this class, we're smarter. This is not getting A.
I have 2, and I think Miss Remy has 2, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah. So we're talking even at 30, roughly 30,
It's not that many.
that's only 120 kids out of 700. I'm not sure, is that a lot?
We picked 1/7, but
What's that, the top 15%?
Yeah, 15%. Yeah, that means you're smarter than the average person.
Maybe. You see what I'm saying, guys? I don't know. I would say you're smarter than the average. So here we go. I want 15 hands that can answer this.
What does that say?
Half of orange.
What?
Yeah, find the volume of a half of orange. I'm taking an orange and I'm cutting it in half.
The fruit isn't exactly.
If it just
And orange.
That's still your grandma's stuff.
Half of baseball?
oh my hell, you get an F. Next time your dad texts me, I'm just gonna block it. Hadley. Oh, you have it. Oh, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I remember the formula.
So how many of you know the formula? Okay, you two wrote it down. That doesn't count. You wrote it down? Oh, yeah. Okay, now, he ruined the joke. Okay, this is what happens every time.
You never gave me a number.
Okay, so Barker, what is the area for the volume of it? Because a baseball is a what? Sphere, right? So what is it?
Like the formula?
Yeah.
V equals 4/3 pi r cubed.
4/3 pi r cubed, right? That's a formula. And this is what happens every time. Okay? They immediately punch that into their calculator, right? Because I only need one number, right? And I'm going to times that all up, and I don't know what that is, but what's this answer?
1,436.8.
1,436.8, and that is centimeters cubed. And they do all kinds of pounding their chest. And go, that's right. Okay? And they are wrong every time.
Divided by 2.
Because it's a half of a baseball. So I'm going to divide that by 2, and I'm going to get 18.4 centimeters cubed. You could. No, you can't because I'm going to cube it. That's a way. Yes, you got to do it afterwards. Yeah. Does this make any sense? Okay, now, last thing. There's a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but there's 6 compound shapes on the back. Okay? Now, there are 2 of these on the test. Now listen, I don't know why people think, yeah, find that volume, add them together. It is not rocket science. I don't know why, but this causes more consternation than anything this chapter. It's not an area of an ice cream cone. You're going to find the area of the cone, then find the area of the sphere divided by 2 and add them together. What was this one? Is this 1/3 pi r squared h? It's on your, I put it on your assignment. I was right? All the formulas are there. Choose the right formula. Do the math right. You should get the right answer. This is not as hard as you're all thinking it is. It's not. Stark, you've been awful quiet. You got a question? No? We getting this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we start? Done.
By the way, nice win. Ethan? Did you win? Didn't they announce you on Pack TV that you won? Yeah, good job. Yeah? Do we have any girl lacrosse players in here?
When you raise them,
Yeah.
Destroying it.
Does anybody play lacrosse?
I used to.
Do they have a slaughter rule?
I think they should.
Why are the girls?
I don't think they do because they annihilate them.
I know, but
I.
but that's why I'm asking. Do they have?
It feels like they never go over 18. I feel like it's. I don't know if they do, but they've never gone over.
Because that's a lot. They scored 18 back-to-back games, I think, didn't
It's
they?
like always 18, so maybe 18.
I was just wondering, because I'm like, man, that's an ass kicking. I mean, right?
I got off the bus from a game one time and like it was like halftime. It was like 11-1, and I was just like, what?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If I'm up 10, we're clearly dominant, right? You know, in baseball, they just end the game after the fifth, right?
It's 10 after 5.
10 after 5, right? So that's what I'm wondering. Do they have that in the cross, or do I just keep throwing the wood to you for the next half an hour? You know what I mean? Nobody knows?
I remember that.
That was a basketball game, right?
Oh, that was so
I
bad.
Yeah.
text my friend.
They left on the bus.
So Roy just left. Roy just left after the girls. It was like,
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, but wasn't it like the Roy score this year, like 92-8 or something?
Yeah.
I think the girls beat them 92-8.
We won, but not 92.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
not quite that.
They played in the finals yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, but we didn't lose at anything.
Nothing?
Actually, softball.
Oh.
Okay, softball dominated, and then they got.
Yeah, they never had lost, but at the championship they
Like
did.
what was his story? Was he down dogging?
I felt bad. They just like
You got baseball. You can do it now. Hey, get busy.
I'm gonna text my friend.
It was so bad. That was the only thing we lost that game. We had won everything else.